End up calling him Aurelius.
Yeah. No.
Yo, this shit is crazy. They're really gonna call this dude Maximus Aurelius. Like, holy snap!
What we'll start doing, bro.
Yo,
I'm switching. I'm switching computers.
okay, no doubt, man. But right now we're just warming up and stuff like
yeah.
that. We warming up bit by bit. So we just we're just shooting the talk and stuff right here. But yo, this shit is crazy, man. Yo, oh man. Hold up, let me do my thing here.
In words of Zaire, man, stop lying.
Stop,
weirdo. Lying ass weirdo.
Lying ass weirdo. Stop lying. You weirdo. Lying ass weirdo.
Yo, they be lying, bro.
Oh, this shit is hilarious.
Like, yo, there's really and truly, there's no need to be lying or capping for these companies like that, man.
It just doesn't make
the
sense.
Games, that's it.
Yo, it's crazy. It's just mad funny. It's just.
I was wrong to drink. The current gen won't hold next gen back Kool-Aid. What kind of shit? What kind of shit is that, man?
Shit, yo, shout out to Noriko.
It sounded good on paper, but not in the real world. yeah, you was just capping because Microsoft, whatever Microsoft said, you was just throttling them.
Yo, Jersey Rafe, you right. No mercy on this podcast. Oh, they're gonna get this work. Yo, me, Jay Barry, J-Dub. Yo, we all been harassed. We've been cursed at. They threw stones. They talking shit, saying that we're not real gamers. Well, it's because we lost a power crown. Yo, we heard it all. Everything. We heard it all. Yo, it's crazy, right? Yo, shout out to Noriko with the $20 super chat. Thank you for the support. Yo, we're going to get kicking right now. J-Dub is switching PCs right now. He's getting his mic game right because you know J-Dub's going to go off. You know J-Dub is about to go off.
I'm back.
Oh man, it's about to be popping up in here. Yo, shout out to the chat. Hey, sorry we got a late start. I came out of work late. You know, duty calls for America. But thank you for rocking by. We got together. We had to get together because we oh man, I don't even right now I'm speechless. You know, most of the time I have a lot to say. I just don't know what to say because what happened today is the biggest BS. Like now, people realizing shit's crazy, right? But yo, we're gonna shout out the chat real quick. Yo, Terry Henderson, call me Jay. What's going on? Jay Hart, Dark Link, Warlock, what's up? Lay, the Nail Bat, Ryan Landis, what's up? Jersey, it was good. Noriko, of course, with the super chat. Garuda Legends, you know, we up in the house. One stop for sports. We good up in here. Yo, we gonna kill it. Jay Hart with the super chat. Maybe they can go back to the power of the cloud. Yo, Snow Bunny, welcome. Thank you for stopping by.
Yo, facts.
Yo, this podcast is gonna be the realest podcast. Any other podcast, especially Xbox Centric podcast, they're gonna damage control. Let me just put up the image.
They already damage controlling. They already damage controlling.
Can you take a look at this? Right here, Ryan McCaffrey from IGN. I was wrong to drink the current gen won't hold next gen back Kool-Aid. I talked to enough people now. Notice, he talked to enough people now. It might make sense for some games, but not AAA system seller kinds of big budget productions. Cut bait on the old hardware. I want to see what the new stuff can do. Now, on August 24th, 2020. Not a year ago, when you have time to let Microsoft know this might be a bad idea. You know, if you're going to come out with a new console, we really don't care about the old console that we already played on the last 7 years. Like Jay somebody, help me solve this shit. Like, how is it now they realize this shit?
What happened to consumer friendly, guys?
Exactly.
You know what pisses me off? This dude gets paid for a living commentating on video games. Like, how long has he really been playing games for? Because this isn't new. This isn't new. Every generation since I was a kid.
That's what we were saying.
Reading EGM, reading GamePro, reading Nintendo Power. Every single time there was a new gen, the first thing developers talked about is how the new gen is going to allow to push games on hardware they couldn't do before. Like,
Puerto Rock.
Help me out.
The check didn't clear. That's what happened. that check didn't clear.
He didn't get his game in check.
oh shit! Like,
Nah, hey, real talk. This motherfucker saw the light just like everybody else saw the light. That's
but
all.
now,
You know what it is, right? You know what it is? Because I think Microsoft is changing their stance on that whole promise of a year to 2 years on delivering Xbox One games and Series X games. Because a lot of the games is losing that little patch of enhanced with this and smart delivery. They're losing all that little patch. They're removing that stuff from their box art now. You know what I mean? And now he probably get little emails like, yo, man, stop pushing that whole, consumer-friendly Xbox One, Series X, me, for the gamer type bullshit. We need to push the next gen. I'm telling you, watch Microsoft going to come out with like an article soon saying their new initiative or something like that. And that's the only reason why this dude's changing up. He's just going with the flow of just capping and cooning.
so they're already prepping the battlefield to damage control. That's what they're doing.
Oh yeah, big time.
They're already prepping.
If you, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but after he tweeted that, right after that, everybody jumped on his bandwagon. Steps, and it's like, this is some shit that we've seen since fucking 1980. Why did it take this long for you to see that?
That's how the Xbox guys are. Watch, Phil Spencer's going to have another interview and back in everything that he said in the past 10 interviews. And I'm pretty sure y'all going to expose him soon with the Phil Spencer stuff, because this is just hilarious now, man.
I've been telling guys for a long time, they listen and they linger on every single Phil Spencer word. And I've been posting every single E3 for the last 6-7 years. Phil Spencer sayings. This is the greatest lineup ever. This is the greatest this is that. And they failed every single time. So when you look at it in whole and you can finally see what Phil Spencer is, right? The guy is just a straight liar. And I get it. The guys have a crush on him. They think he's the leader. They think he's great for Xbox. But right now, all he's doing is hyping up freaking PC games and cell phone. And so he's not really saying much about Xbox, and that's probably the problem. They're going to launch this console in about 2 months. There's no first-party titles available for it for the next few years. And yet guys want us to believe that somehow, oh, you can be able to play the last 4 generations of games on this console and you'll be good. Like, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Maybe that Halo rumor is true. I mean, because Brian McCaffrey, for him to come up and exclusive 2 years down the line, you know what I mean? It's seen the light.
The problem with that is Halo, right? They're going to be focused on the multiplayer for the most part of all these recent Halos. How are you going to have a successful multiplayer game with such a small install base? That's only next gen, right? So all the analysts are saying that the X Series X is not going to sell well at all compared to the competition. So let's say they sell 5 million within the first 2 years. That means there's only going to be 5 million people probably playing that game. You can try to include maybe the PC, but I still don't think that's going to be a big enough number. It's not like another 5 million PC gamers are going to buy that. I don't think so. So I don't know. Good luck to them. It's just finally good to see the lies and the bubble that these guys live in actually come back and burst on them. We've been seeing it for the last 6-7 years. Now it's just on a larger scale.
Hey, Craig, what's going on, man?
I was playing my flight sim, flew over Area 51, lost my left engine.
Brother, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, man.
Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, let us know. Let us know what you think about this nonsense that now Brian McCaffrey and IGN Xbox dudes are not admitting that maybe it was a bad idea to anchor next generation games to Xbox One.
But you had, shout out to Optimus Code. He was on this podcast, and he was saying he told everybody. He went on to multiple podcasts, and they didn't believe him. And that's the truth is that it's just not it's not a good idea. It's just not. I would not put any. If they're changing their minds, I saw where Ryan McCaffrey changed his mind and now praising Kratos as the one true God. But at the end of the day, it was never a good idea. You just. It's nice to say. It's nice to say, hey, we would love to put everything everywhere so that nobody gets left behind. But yeah, people are going to have to get left behind. That's just all there is to it.
That's just how console generation's always been, man.
Yeah.
It's not just being mean. It's pushing, aiming forward. If you want to innovate, you can't be developing for these older consoles because you can't push innovation within games. Co-developing for the weaker console and the newer console. There's going to be a conflict there. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why, PlayStation fans and we're telling these guys like, no, you guys are missing the point. Halo Infinite gameplay could have been way, way, way much better if it was just on Series X. Not looking like the same Halo. It's looking like Combat Evolve. That's not a good thing to say for your new game.
That shit was from like 2000. That shit was like 2001. Like, are you serious?
Well,
like, come on, bro.
5, at the beginning of this generation, Forza 5 is not on the 360. They put that car out on the stage. I don't know what kind of car it was. It was orange. It was beautiful. But you had to have an Xbox One, whatever they were calling it, Xbox One, to play that game. I don't think you play Forza 5 on the 360. It was the same with Rise Son of Rome. You had to have they did it before.
And what was funny is Rise Son of Rome was originally a 360 game.
Yeah.
So they stopped developing it for 360 and made it for Xbox One.
Yeah, and Sony was right to do it. Yeah, and you're right. You're seeing the flip flopping, but you're dealing with people with like no integrity. None whatsoever. If they would get left in the room with their grandmother on oxygen, and their grandmother's oxygen would somehow pop off. That's just the kind of people you're dealing with at this point. So,
do you guys think it's a cop out though that they're blaming Halo? They're blaming it on. Obviously, we know, right, that if they would have focused on the X Series X, Halo should have looked a hell of a lot better. It should have looked like a next-gen game. But we can also say that 343 is not Bungie. And maybe 343 is not the team that can do what Halo needs it to do.
They're not.
So,
this is their third chance. Like, they had Halo 4. It was all right? But people think, okay, they took it over for the first time. Halo 5 took the franchise down even further. And this, they're not going in the right direction.
Even further.
They're not going in the, they're just, people made 343 into an elite studio for no reason at all because they earned nothing. They've done nothing to earn that title. Yeah. They're not Naughty Dog. They're not Santa Monica. They're not even Capcom. They did nothing. The only thing they did was took over a project Bungie started. And now they get all the credit for doing nothing. They've done nothing. They don't deserve to be anywhere near compared to some of the big developers out there, even compared to the big third party. They don't even deserve to be compared with Front Software. Like, not even them. Like, nobody. Yeah. They've done nothing. 343 has done nothing to give them props on any level. On any level.
Well, what do you think Amanda Pierces are going to say tomorrow? Do you think she comes out next and says something?
She already made, I will say this, when she was talking about Game Pass, right? She made a comment saying that even if people don't like it, just still say something positive so you can force, or not, she didn't use the word force. She said something in terms of, and I'm paraphrasing, like, she said, even if you don't like it, just still make positive comments about it and hope that more people adopt it. And I looked at her like, that makes no sense. Because if you don't like it, why would you pretend to like it just so you can have more people do it? That made no sense. Which just tells me she's going to cap for positivity even if it's a piece of shit idea. It could be the worst thing for gaming. It don't matter. She's going to cap for it.
She's trying to hype up the service rather than the games actually coming to the service. Like, you haven't really showed anything to excite anybody about the games. You didn't show nothing from the games. You just showed these little cinematic trailers that you've been working 6, 7, 8 years down the line. But at the end of the day, she wants everybody to be like, yeah, it's going to come in Game Pass. It's great. But what if you're not interested in nothing that they showed? You know what I mean? They say the service is great. It made no sense.
Because they don't really care about the games. They care about the service, and they care about hyping the service because they're probably gifted different things to do that. They're doing their favors. It is what it is. It's not the first time, but let's face the facts. 343 is not the studio for Halo. Phil Spencer, I'm going on record, should be fired. He's not the guy. I've been saying that for forever. 100%. He is not the guy. He's a guy that can sweet talk you and tell you everything you want to hear, and then he comes out and we get the disasters that's July the 23rd event. We get the event before that. We get the E3s before that. We get the Comic Cons before that. Like, at what point, right?
Yo, I just don't know how these dudes are Xbox dudes. I just don't know how. It's insane, bro.
You got guys still blaming on Donny D. Donny D left 4 months after the Xbox One launched.
Yeah.
The rest of that time was Phil Spencer. Why do you continue to hold this guy up after failure after failure after failure, after throwing money away on fucking Twitch streamers, after throwing money away on Mixer, after throwing money away on just unlimited amount of dumb shit that has nothing to do with Xbox, to the point where right now Xbox is not even
TikTok.
Exactly. Xbox is not even the focus right now. The focus is on cell phones and the focus is on PC. That's a problem. Aaron Greenberg tweeted out that today with the little cell phone inside. He was hyping up the little mobile cell phone thing. He's like,
forget the Razer thing. The Razer.
A freaking Razer. Like, this shit is crazy. And maybe guys just need to go ahead and come to terms.
Like,
it's all about Game Pass. Yeah. And it's all about gaming.
Wasn't Xbox dudes like against like handhelds, but they out here buying the Kishi? Xbox dudes was against cloud. I know
they
for
was
sure.
Against Stadia. They were against PlayStation Now. They were against remote play.
You know how much debates I had with these dudes, about cloud gaming and PlayStation Now. These dudes like, it's not ready. And now I've seen all these people. My man Showstopper bought that Razer Kishi thing, talking about he playing xCloud. That choice.
I saw that. Yeah,
my man went out and bought a $1,200 phone just to play fucking Grounded and Bleeding Edge.
Happy.
Yeah. And didn't say what's about the option. Well, yeah, whatever. Saying you just
saying that a week ago.
Yeah, 720p all of a sudden is acceptable because they don't want Xbox to go away. They don't want that console to just fold up and their studios start putting games on PlayStation, which is going to start happening because they don't have no choice. Shout out to Human said nobody wants an Xbox.
Shout out to Carlos Crespin. He said Jim Ryan is laughing at Phil. Phil needs to go. Just like Nico said, like
I don't think he needs to go.
That's why Sean Layden got out of there. Jim Ryan saw that picture of him and Phil Spencer sent together. He was like, nah. You let that man in our building. Jim Ryan got that man up out of there. You know what I mean?
He got that Xbox stench.
Clear it up. Where's the potpourri? Let's get the fragrance. You got to get the Xbox stench out of here.
Potpourri. I heard that is a night.
Shout out to my man Jim Ryan, man.
Shout out to the chat. We got over 200 people watching, man. Hit that like button. We're going to killing them. We're killing them there. Here's the thing. A lot of people now saying it's because Xbox turning into a service. But here's my question, right? A service doing what? Because at the end of the day, you still have to make good games. You still have to provide good games, even if you're transitioning to a service. Because if you don't provide good, unique games, then why should I join your service? I mean, is it really going to be just not buying games anymore? Is that the wave now? Like nobody wants to buy games?
Yeah, they rather rent them. That was another thing that girl who talks like she was from Narnia, Alana Pierce. That's what she was pretty much advocating. She was saying that it is better to not own something. I did a rebuttal to her, but it wasn't mean. It was just like, look, I was always taught ownership is better than renting. So I disagree with that whole premise, but to rent something is better. But that's me. Yeah, I mean, but it was respectful.
Y'all missed what my man Craig just said, yo. He said, yo, that girl Alana, the girl that talks like she's from Narnia. Hey, yo, I'm dying, bro.
Yo, here's my thing. And I know Jay Barry remembers this. I could have sworn a console was once called the Red Box Station once. You remember that?
Oh,
you remember that, right? The Red Box Station?
I remember that.
Chat. I know people remember that. Remember, PlayStation gamers only rent their games. They don't buy them.
Rent their games. They don't buy them. Yep.
Remember that? Red Box Station? Not now. It's cool to rent. Right?
Yo, that's karma. That's karma. P-Right? It's karma.
Yo, this blows my mind. This is insane what's happened. Like now, here's the thing. Let's look at this though. Sony knew this was a bad plan. They know they know what the fan base wants. They don't have to be in our party chats and all talk to us. They just know what we want based on sales. They see the games we hype. They see the games we buy. They see the screenshots. They know what we're into, right?
Exactly.
They know what hardware brings to games. Not only are they making PS5 only games, right? Next generation exclusives. But they're also adding a bigger immersion. You're starting seeing now, they're talking more about the controller, the immersion. What's that other game? That one game where if you jam, the trigger will actually jam. Like you can't even press it. Deathloop. That's fucking cool as fuck. Because that's literally immersion with the game. Like you pressing the trigger and it just won't pull back. I hope you don't have fools thinking it's broken. But that's the level of immersion that's like, oh shit.
A lot of people thinking that it's just going to get stuck like that. It's just going to have a lot of tension where it's going to be harder to press the button.
And hopefully they'll have a tutorial to let people know this is going to happen if you don't, if your gun jams and shit like that. And that brings immersion to the game. Imagine Call of Duty, like, yo, Jay Barry.
Because that's a game mechanic. That's a game mechanic.
That's part of one of the reasons they're telling you your fucking DualShock controller are not going to be functional with PS5 games because those games are going to be more immersive and it's meant to have the DualSense controller. So
because if you include PS4 into next generation games, that will make the developer lazy. Because now you mixed your audience. So is it really worth focusing on these features when you mix your audience with controllers? Like, no. The standard controller is going to be the PS5 controller, and I'm assuming there's going to be third-party controllers, but I'm pretty sure in order to be a third-party controller, you must also have these capabilities, or you're not going to be officially licensed,
Yep.
And why now people are crying, and it's not even the majority of people, it's the stupid Xbox fanboys. They're the only ones crying about PS4 controller, when originally they were saying the controller's trash because it only lasts for 30 minutes.
Yep, that's what they said. That's what they were saying. All of a sudden now they care about the DualShock 4.
Like if anything, you should be happy you don't have to play with the DualShock 4 anymore. Because apparently the rumor is the DS is gonna have a bigger battery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's gonna last like 8 to 10 hours. So
yeah, I'm hearing that it's like 50% bigger than the DualShock 4 or something like that.
Yeah. It's a little bit bigger, so I'm pretty sure there's a bigger battery. So like, yo, it's crazy. Like,
but here's the thing, though. The bigger thing is they're giving us next generation technology in this controller. They're giving us next generation technology inside the system, next generation. But when you look at Xbox, right, they've been having the same fucking controller since like pretty much all the 360 era.
Yeah.
And the guys are like, well, it's perfected. You don't really have to change it. And I'm like, seriously? You got the Elite controller was supposed to be the last controller. It was marketed as the last controller you ever need. Then they turned around and gave you the fucking Elite 2. Well, and then guess what? They're probably going to drop the Elite 3. And so it's...
If anything, the Elite 2 should be the default controller for the Xbox Series X.
You know what's funny about the Xbox One controller? That thing had 3 different iterations.
Yes.
The original controller, they had to scrap that because of the dead zones and the triggers, not the triggers, the bumpers.
The bumpers, yeah.
Then they redid it again with the Elite. Then they redid it again with the last joint. And the Elite 2. Yeah.
And now they're gonna have the one. They're just gonna add a share button to the Xbox One controller and call it a new one. So,
don't forget the grips, Kratos. You can't forget the grips. That's what they got to hype up, the grips.
I mean, again, I don't know how they're doing that because that's RDNA 1. So I don't know how they're doing all they're doing with the ray tracing and the variable rate shading and all that kind of stuff.
At the end of the day, stop capping for a company or a platform that's not even giving you enough. This is the thing I always ask Xbox guys, like, why are you even on this high horse? What are you playing to be like, yo?
Ecosystem. It's the ecosystem.
Yo, I don't get it, Kratos. Like, why are they so cocky, bro? Yo, these Xbox dudes be so cocky. Like, why are you on such this high horse? Like, you've been playing all the greatest bangers in the world on Xbox.
I have no idea.
You haven't.
They're playing it with 12 T-flop.
Yeah.
Like, and they keep hyping power. But when you look at the games, you're like, nothing says 12 T-flop. Nothing.
What I'm saying, bro.
Nothing. There is no velocity architecture in anything we're seeing right now. There is nothing. There's no VRS. There's no machine learning. In fact, the only thing we're learning is Xbox is still trash. That's about the only thing we learn. It's still trash.
It's scary.
If we're gonna learn something, we're learning that. Like, it's still gonna be trash for next gen.
It's scary that the only gameplay we've seen is Xbox One games.
I gotta rebut that, man.
What?
I gotta rebut that.
What you gotta rebut?
The velocity architecture is so fast that it looked like that pop in. That was your brain. Our brains can't see.
Also that's what it is.
Yeah, the medium, even though it's 30 frames per second, because it's rendering a parallel universe at 30.
That looks exactly the same.
60.
Yeah, it's just a different color. It's a different color. Same scene, different color.
But it's 30 frames per second each way. Therefore, that is 60 frames per second because 30 plus 30 is 60. I mean, it's just so. But that velocity architecture is so fast that it looked like pop in to our brains. But realistically,
I heard the clouds were social distancing. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. The clouds were just keeping in mind, and they were just they were staggering to social distance from one another.
No. Here's the thing, Puerto Rock.
What's up?
After all these years of hyping up all kind of stuff, right? They've been wrong with the Xbox One, and now it seems like they're already heading in the wrong direction with the X Series X. The cloud power, the dual stack, the hidden GPU, the ESRAM update, all this stuff that was supposed to. I mean, literally, all this stuff was supposed to bring Xbox back from the brink of death.
Said so much bullshit. Yes. This gen, it is unbelievable how they have any fan base.
And they're starting this generation wrong again. Like now it's the velocity engine. Now it's all this other stuff. It's like, guys, listen, you got curb stomped by 1.8 T-flops and 4.2 T-flops. Stop with the power. Obviously, it doesn't matter. You haven't, it's. And when you ask them about the games, well, what games are you going to play day one?
We don't know.
First party games.
They don't know right now. They're gonna play Gears 5. They're gonna play Gears 5 at 100.
We got 4 generations of games. We're gonna be first. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, but can they defeat that 4.3 screen? Just like on Knights of the Old Republic and all that kind of stuff. That's a 4.3 screen.
They're gonna play Gears 5. They're gonna play Gears 5 all over again.
Oh, that's fine. Look, I like Gears 5.
Yeah, you're right.
Buy a brand new console. Buy a brand new console to play Gears 5. That's day one.
It's gonna be 120 frames per second.
That's what they did with the Xbox One X, which is discontinued. So
that is true too. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
This shit. So how bad? Like Microsoft realizes they're in the Hindenburg. They're in the Hindenburg right now. The blimp is about to crash, right? That shit's about to crash, right? So now they're redirecting their course, right? All their first party games, they'll probably be like, you know what? Scrap the Xbox One, focus on Xbox Series X, and they're gonna go through delays. Everything's just gonna be trash, right? Sony, they didn't play that bullshit. From the ground up, you saw how beautiful Miles Morales looks. New 4D scans, ray tracing. Character, they redid everything. They redid everything with no worries about having this game ever running on the PlayStation 4. And they're not worrying about making the game to where it could be easy enough to port over to PC. They're not worried about that. Right? How bad is PlayStation 5 going to make Xbox Series S look when Sony constantly pushes out the exclusives? Because you know what's going to happen. These Xbox fanboys and these slaves and all these social media, they're going to try to focus on the head-to-head Digital Foundry multiplats, right? But you know Sony's not playing that bullshit. They're going to advertise their exclusives, and that's what's noticeable, right? Because you don't need Digital Foundry to see Miles Morales. You don't need Digital Foundry to see Gran Turismo 7 or Horizon Zero Dawn to see exclusives.
Or anything.
That game looks stunning.
You could just see, you could just see how amazing they look, and that's it. You don't need nobody else to tell you. And when the consumer sees these amazing games in Best Buy, they see them on the screen. They're gonna look at Xbox and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" And the best they could come up with is the better version of Call of Duty. But the only way they're gonna sell that is you have to go to Digital Foundry. Because I guarantee when you see both Call of Duty and
side by side, you're not
gonna notice it. You need Digital Foundry to tell you that, and that's not a selling point. That's not how you sell consoles. You need stuff that splashes on the screen. So how bad do you guys think it's gonna be when the consoles are out and the advertisements and the Best Buys and the Walmarts, they have these games up on the screen, and you see Miles Morales on the screen, and on Xbox you see that Echo game, the dolphin shooting shit. Like, what's gonna happen? How bad that shit's gonna be?
The dolphin's gonna have 8K texture.
What's it? Orphan game, whatever.
Holmes really thought he was gonna use that game to try to console war. Like, everybody's looking at dude like, get that game out of here.
Get your bullshit out of here. When that dude says, "Hey man, I get this game running at 4K, 120 FPS." But, PS5, I can only do it at 60. And I'm thinking, damn, what game's he making? When I saw that trailer, I'm like, if you don't shut your ass off. If you don't shut up right now. This Echo-ass game. Like, you should be able to run this 120 FPS on a phone. If you don't shut your ass.
But it got so bad that people went against what consoles do for the next gen traditionally. Yeah. And they said that was anti-consumer. That PlayStation is having Miles Morales exclusive and Gran Turismo and Ratchet and Clank exclusive on the PS5. It's anti-consumer, bro.
Yeah, but look, it even goes deeper. Even back to what Porto Rock was saying.
Let me do a super chat. So we got the Bay Area. What games are you ponies playing day one on PS5 other than the 5-hour DLC Miles Morales? Other than that game right there is better than any shit Xbox is launching with.
Yes.
Other than. Like, there is nothing on Xbox to sell. There's nothing. No game. Nothing.
Xbox are launching selling you patch updates for games.
They're not launching with anything. They're launching with multiplats.
Bro, they got multiplats and patch updates. Like, I'm not even making that up. All the games that Xbox have at launch is patch updates, bro.
That's it. They're selling you on backwards compatibility. That's why they're so hard on that. That's why they're writing so hard on generations of gaming and backwards compatibility. That's why, because that's all you got at launch.
They hyping up 4 generations of games at your disposal.
Bro, they hyping up Tetris Effect Connect.
Exactly.
A game that's already out on PlayStation.
Bro,
and is VR on PlayStation.
And is VR. We've had, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's sad on the Xbox side. It's so sad that guys have convinced themselves that that Spider-Man Miles Morales is only 5 hours and is DLC. They've convinced themselves right? But here's the thing. I guarantee you put a poll on Twitter or the internet anywhere. People say that they'll take that 5-hour DLC that is Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, over anything Xbox has shown thus far.
I guarantee.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you put Miles Morales on Xbox day one, Xbox launch, that would be the number one selling game. That would be the number one selling game on Xbox. They will buy that game over anything Xbox will launch with.
Yo, they wouldn't be hyping Scorn.
Anything, bro. Like, come on, man.
Medium.
Yo,
they wouldn't be hyping Scorn.
Shout out to Eric. He said PS5 greatness, Raider Nation. CB3, Sony Nintendo are finna crip walk on Xbox. Yo, this shit's a funeral, man. Somebody better start writing. Yo, we need like post up to write a eulogy, cause this shit is dead. This shit is muerto, man.
I will eulogize them tomorrow morning, man.
Hey, I know y'all heard the rumors, right? Well, it wasn't really rumors; it was already confirmed. My man Jim Ryan had a bag of money, walking over to all the third parties, buying deals and exclusives from all the third party, and apparently Microsoft approached those third parties as well. But Microsoft wasn't willing to spend the amount of money that Sony was to get those deals. They said it was too much. So
they don't got to leverage either.
Okay. Exactly.
So
Plus, they don't have they don't have the mind share. They don't have the install base. It's a mess. So with that being said, for guys to think that automatically they're going to have the better looking and better running version of the multi-plat, are you really sure after a company took a bag of money and dumped at their porch, or you think that they're going to show you a seriously inferior version? I don't think that. I wouldn't be willing to bet any money on that. So I think once Digital Foundry get their hands on stuff, they're going to find it more even, because the power between the two systems are a lot closer than it was this generation. So I just don't understand that logic with that. Plus, Sony is known for doing much more with less. Just look at any first party exclusive game from Sony, any of their studios, look at it running on the PS4 Slim compared to a first party game from Microsoft running on the 6T flop Xbox One X. It just, it holds its own. So that tells you a lot.
Right. So Barrier says, what are you playing? Still waiting. So right now, need a console launch an official list for launch. But right now, just from the first party alone, we got Horizon sequel, which they said it was 2021. We already saw Ratchet and Clank gameplay. You do realize we like to see gameplay, right? We saw Gran Turismo 7 gameplay. We got Godfall, right? That's another one, right? Of course, we already mentioned Spider-Man, Miles Morales on that one. We also got Kino, right? So we already saw multiple games. And keep in mind, these games are not being built on PlayStation 4. They have nothing to do with the PlayStation 4. Right now, Microsoft, they have to unscrew themselves because they screwed up. And now the games that you're favoring, whatchamacallit, ain't going to come out so well, or they're going to get delayed even longer so they can fix this mess.
You got to wait longer to play them.
So you're going to be waiting a while, right? And some of the games you guys are hyping are timed exclusives. Like the Medium game, that's timed. Scorn got delayed to 2021. That's also a timed game. So you really don't have a lot of stuff on Xbox. It's just a mess. Jesus. Yo, Xbox is a mess, and rightfully so, because Microsoft did it to themselves. Yeah. Like, why would you care about the Xbox One knowing that was the one console that brought the brand down? Why would you still associate all new content with a box that brought your brand down? Loco Loquismo, he said, other than Spider-Man greatness, we have Godfall, Kena, and probably Demon Souls. Oh, I forgot about Demon Souls. Oh, man, that's a long game. Oh, man, they're going to be hurting.
They better pray it's not.
It's going to be ridiculous, man. This is just insane.
And they still it's still a lot of stuff they hadn't shown. We've been hearing behind the scenes.
It's not even over yet. Sony just did one show. Microsoft had 2 shows.
Here's the problem.
And that shit is still trash.
Yeah, here's the problem.
2 shows.
Sony needs competition, and Microsoft is not that competition, so they really don't have any incentive to go hard at this point, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the companies, like the first party. They kind of like have competition among themselves, trying to beat one another, because really, that's really all they have left in between each other. It's like, to come out with the biggest, most compelling games, they only have each other to set the bar, Like now we see Naughty Dog. Now I'm sure Sony Studios are like, oh, we got to beat Naughty Dog because we got to surpass them, And then
and that's the good thing about it. Sony Studios compete against each other. They're not even competing with with any other studios. I mean, they're that good where they just have to. All they got to do is benchmark their game next to the neighbor. Next to the neighboring and their internal other studios. So that's a great problem to have, man. I just wish I wish Microsoft had some studios and had some games that was capable of doing that. And I know a lot of guys are like, well, they just invested and they got this studio and that studio, and a lot of them are not proven. And the ones that are proven are not making the game that they're known for. Like, what's the studio that makes Forza Horizon?
Playground.
Playground, right? So they're not even making a Forza Horizon right now. They're working on another game.
Fable. They're making Fable.
Yeah, Fable. So, I hate to say it, but they've been known for the last 15 years or however long they've been of making Forza Horizon, these open world racing games, right?
Yeah.
So we just don't know if that's going to translate well into Fable, unless Fable has some cars or something like that. So we don't know how that stuff is going to turn out.
True.
So let's move on to the next topic, because let's talk about real quick Warner Brothers. All right, so the DC Fandome was yesterday, 24 hours.
Yes.
Lots of news in movies, TV shows, but in particular games. So they announced two games, Gotham Knight and Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Death to the Justice League.
Kill the Justice League.
Kill the Justice League. So I'm gonna let y'all. How y'all feel about that? How you feel about those announcements? That those are the next games coming from Warner Brothers.
I'll tell you my opinion. Kind of lukewarm. We've been waiting a long freaking time for another Batman game, and none of these games are Batman games. So, from what I understand, you're not going to get to play as Batman. On one of the games, Batman is in jail, and the other game has nothing to do with the Arkham City or even the world or even the universe. So, I don't know. I'm still sitting around waiting on a freaking Batman game.
Okay. How about you, Jay Barry? What do you think? How you feel?
Man, I'm excited as hell, man. I love the fact that we're doing something different other than the character Batman himself. Batman, comic book wise, have been training these individuals so they can take over for him one of these days. And the Bat family is no joke. Anybody, if DC Batman, if you love Batman, you're definitely gonna love the Bat family. That's why I kind of find it kind of funny that a lot of people not really feeling this game, because Bat family is OD. One, a lot of this game doesn't. Well, I'm talking about Gotham Knights. It doesn't take place within the Arkham universe, but a lot of people forget that yes, Barbara Gordon, she did get shot in the back by Joker. And she was Oracle for a very long time, but she definitely recovered, and she's now Batgirl again. If you guys are, keeping up with the comic books and stuff like that. But what got me hype about Arkham Knights is that they're using my favorite Robin, Tim Drake. Super, super excited for that. Get to play as Red Robin. I see his suit. I think the game is going to be dope, man. It's going to be a single player experience that you can play on multiplayer as well. And I like the fact that you can control so you can switch between the characters. Like, it's not like it's just the AI companions and they're doing whatever. If you want to switch between the character, you can do that as well. I think that's kind of dope.
It's kind of like what they did in Arkham Knight with, like, when you were Catwoman Batman or Batman and Robin, you switch between.
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more streamlined though, because in certain areas you can switch with that game.
Oh, so they're not even in the same area. They could like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, like say you're doing something. Say you're doing a mission and you got that they show Batgirl and you have Robin and you're playing a single player. You're controlling Batgirl, right? But you can just go over and swap over to Robin real quick. You know what I mean? Which is cool. But somebody can come in and play the game, and one thing I'm liking is that you're getting a good single player experience from the game. The only thing is that I'm worried about is that. Batman Origins, I didn't play Batman Origins, but going from what everybody's saying, it's not like the greatest of Batman. So
because it wasn't Rocksteady, it's just
Montreal definitely got to step it up.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen pre-alpha build, I'm excited for the game. The Suicide Squad game, I'm not really interested in the Suicide Squad game. I'm not really a big fan of like the Suicide Squad per se, But the fact that they got that twist in there versus the Justice League, because that's going to be an impossible mission. And I know it's just going to be like a story kind of twist in there, kind of like how they're using the whole Master Chief versus Locke thing, right? Mm-hmm. But there's no real Master Chief versus Locke, you know what I mean? But it's all smoke and mirrors with the title of the game. But what I saw, and this is not gameplay. I know a lot of people's going to knock it. It's not gameplay, but what I saw from Captain Boomerang, all the teleports and guns and stuff, that got me excited because Captain Boomerang is a boring ass character. Well, they made him look mad fun in that game. So I was like, I'm a little bit. I might play as him. You know what I mean? But I'm not that excited for Suicide Squad. But Gotham Knights, day 1A1. I'm all for that.
Man, you lucky I don't have a Captain Coon room. Hey, so I'm just kidding. Before I get to Craig, shout out to Neil Weiss. He says PS is a bigger part in the Sony company than Xbox is to Microsoft. It's pretty obvious that Sony's putting more in PlayStation than Microsoft is to Xbox. That is very true. Jay Hart, does Xbox Series? Oh shit, it skipped right to the bottom. Hold on. I'll get back to it. Okay, here we go. Does Xbox Series X even have any first party first 2 years? We have no idea. We have no idea what they're doing. Yeah. Lionel, my man, Lionel B, shout out to him. He said Xbox is the perfect example of what happens when being pro-consumer goes wrong. It's a perfect example of trash. That's what it is. So, Craig, give me your thoughts. Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. You excited for the announcement? Not excited? What's your view? Is he here? Did he leave?
Kentucky Bourbon, you there?
You're muted.
Is he muted?
No, he's here. He's in the room. I guess he probably stepped out.
Oh no, he muted himself.
Oh, yeah, muted. I hope he.
Yeah, using the bathroom.
Oh, Bobby. Man, Craig using the bathroom. All right. He's probably playing Mass Effect again.
Today is birthday. We got to forgive him.
Yeah, that's true. He's a birthday. He's having his birthday shots. All right. So I'm gonna just skip over. Listen. I love Batman, right? I am a Batman fanboy. I said this plenty of times. Okay. But I have this thing of playing Batman games without Batman. It just doesn't feel right. It's like playing Halo without Master Chief. It's like playing Spider-Man. I mean, I could guess Miles Morales is close. Here's my thing. You remember, and I'm going to talk to Jay Barry, because Jay Barry's the one that's excited, right? You remember the first day Arkham Asylum came out, right? You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you remember how great it was. Because before then, a lot of comic book games was mostly based off movies, or similar to movies, right? It was made to game movie type games. Even Spider-Man was like that, right? So a lot of the games, many of the games were really tied to movies. And if they weren't tied to movies, they were okay, maybe decent, right? But when Arkham Asylum came out with its own original storyline, and it just did, would you agree it did a phenomenal job of representing Batman just like the comics, right?
Yeah, but Arkham Asylum did a great job, but Gotham Knights is not a Batman game.
I know, but just listen.
It's a game about the Bat family.
I'm getting there, right? So when we recognize Gotham, right? Well, Arkham Asylum, right? And it was competing for Game of the Year awards. It was a true example that comic book games should be treated like big blockbuster AAA titles and not just throwaway quick cash comic games, right? Did you have that sentiment back then? Like, this is how you treat a comic book game, like, right? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Arkham.
Okay, so
Asylum.
Cool. So now I want you to go back in time and think about what other games you wanted to play that had that level of quality. Name those games.
Oh, Spider-Man for sure.
Okay.
I always wanted a Punisher game like that.
Okay.
Like that to the quality. Daredevil.
Go ahead.
X-Men game.
Go ahead.
X-Men.
All right.
Yeah, I could keep going, man.
Notice you're not saying Gotham Knights. Notice Jake did not come in the conversation at all. No one wants to play as King fucking Shark. No one said this. No one. We said Green Lantern. We said Flash. We said Wonder Woman. Right? We didn't say Boomerang. No one said this.
Yeah.
Why, Jay Barry?
We didn't ask
Why?
Nah. Y'all got it twisted here. Look,
Jay Barry, notice you didn't say Red Hood. You didn't mention him. So why are we playing as Red Hood? Why? Whose man's is this?
The thing is that you're missing here is that you already got that quality Batman game 3-4 times.
No, but I didn't get Green Lantern once. I didn't get Wonder Woman. I didn't get the Flash. There's no Daredevil. Why are we getting Tim Drake before Green Lantern? Why are we? I'm a Superman. Yo, listen, bro. Jay Bari. I'm about to. Jay Bari, we're about to pick up a PS5 controller and play as Captain Boomerang before the fucking Flash. Like, whose man's is this? Who decided that? Who made that decision? We're gonna give gamers King Shark before Green Lantern. Who?
Like I said, with the Justice League, I mean, not the Justice League, with the Suicide Squad, I've never been a fan of the Suicide Squad like that. I wasn't even hyped for that. The gameplay that I saw got me, well, not gameplay, but the concept of the gameplay that I saw, I was like, okay, I might get down with this. But Gotham Knights, that game I'm hella excited for because you already got the Batman games that you wanted, that you just
so
said
then
that,
scrap it all and give us Green Lantern.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Now you're getting expansion of what the Bat family is. You're getting the full story of the Bat, because the Bat family is as important as Batman. They are part of Batman. They're part of his universe.
But we don't want no more Batman. So give us new shit. Give us the Flash.
But you're not getting a Batman. You're getting the Bat family. You're getting
you're getting his rejects.
Nah, I wouldn't say rejects.
Man, Batman be chewing their asses all the time.
Those his sidekicks.
He be chewing their asses all the time.
You know why you wouldn't say rejects?
You know Batman always be chewing their asses all the time.
This is why it's not rejects, because you're getting the best Robin in the game, right? You're getting to play the best for Tim Drake, the only Robin to be compared to Batman on an equal level, intelligent and skill wise. You're getting Nightwing, grown Nightwing experience.
I think Damian Wayne could kick his ass.
Nah,
I think Damian Wayne could kick. I could think he kicks his ass. I think Damian Wayne. He has his genetics. He's Bruce's son.
No. Yeah, he has his genetics. Yeah, but Damian is very cocky. Damian is very arrogant. Tim Drake. When people compare Batman and all the Robins,
man, the only reason why the A-team is because the A-team died or quote unquote is dead. That's the only reason why they're important now, because Batman's dead.
Well, supposedly dead.
Like
Batman.
I wanted.
Listen,
I wanted the SSD to take advantage of the Flash. I want to zoom and have him go through walls. I want to play a game where you can't keep up.
Yo, I'm in agreement with you as far as when the Flash game.
I want the Flash to warp to different worlds, and that SSD just shows him going into Gotham 1989, Superman this universe, just flash through all this shit. Except we got fucking Red Hood shooting guns. Like who does? And you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you. This is a symptom of Warner Brothers in total, because the whole thing is a disaster. Warner Brothers, the way they're handling everything is just a fucking disaster. Like think about this, right? We're about to get another shitty ass Suicide Squad movie. Like another one. Like somebody thought it was a good idea to give this franchise a second chance, right? Somebody thought, you know what? Let's try it again. But a Green Lantern is gonna be a miniseries on fucking HBO Max. Who is making these decisions? Whose man's is this?
Warner Brothers.
Who is doing this? Who said, hey, let's try Suicide Squad again? What about Green Lantern? Put it on HBO Max. Why? Why are you doing? He's not even a Justice League member. Who is making these decisions? Like, who is in the boardroom? Whose man is this?
Squad's movie that was directed by James Gunn. So, they did it.
What pisses me off even more when you watch the Justice League movie, right? And they go back to the flashbacks of when they fought Steppenwolf. You see Green Lanterns fighting, but they won't put the greatest lantern out. Whose man's is this? Who's in Warner Brothers doing this? Who's making these decisions?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what it was.
It's Phil Spencer's brother that's running this shit.
It was really Puerto Rock. It was really
Pat
the rumors.
Spencer who's running
It was really
Warner
the
Brothers.
rumors. The rumors that gamers had put out there had us hyped up every single time. Oh, a new Batman game. We got a new Batman. It was the rumors that happened. And then when that didn't necessarily happen, I think it kind of let some air out of the... And I get it, right? It's great that you got the whole Bat family there for the gamers that's for, that, you know, into the comics or into that world or whatever. But I'm going to be honest, besides Batgirl, the rest of
He just want to, and you're gonna be that dude. You're gonna be that dude. You're gonna be that dude moving her cape around to see her ass, aren't you? You're gonna be that dude.
It could swerve that cape around, right? But
it might be a good game.
I can't say that I was kind of let down when I found out it really wasn't a Batman game, and then so my attention moved on over to the other game, to the Justice League, and then I was like, okay, I'll give that a try because I do like the Justice League.
To good credit, it could still be a great game on its own. Right? Yeah, that's no lie. So Jay Barry's right. It could be an exciting, great gameplay. It could be a great game.
I'm hella excited. Y'all wilding. That's all I'm saying. Y'all wilding.
Four Horsemen of Apocalypse said Gohan has Goku genetics. Look how that turned out. I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, so you guys need to explain that to me. Like, what does he mean by
Gohan?
That?
Gohan is Goku's son, but he has Goku's genetics, right? But
he sucks.
Obviously, when he became an adult, he kind of fell off.
Okay.
As a teenager, he was dope. You know what I mean? But when he became an adult, he was like, weak, not that strong, didn't go to his potential.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that
he was an Xbox gamer.
He was an Xbox. He became an Xbox gamer. He was playing on PlayStation.
His dad played PlayStation, but he chose Xbox.
He started listening to Phil Spencer and got confused out there. All I'm saying is that it's not even a debate. Tim Drake is the best Robin. I don't know what the fuck this chat's name.
I'm saying Damian Wayne could kick his ass.
It's not even a debate, bro. I'm trying to tell you, Tim Drake is the best Robin all around. Fighting, intelligence, detective skills, all of that. Best Robin.
I think Damian Wayne
Tim
could
Drake,
kick his ass.
Matter of fact, Tim Drake was the only Robin that really took over for Batman when he quote unquote died, and everybody thought it was Batman. And when Dick Grayson did it, everybody was like, "Hold up, this ain't the Bat.
Yeah, that's true.
This is an imposter." But I see people talking about Dick Grayson's the best Batman. Y'all need to sit your ass down and go read a comic, please.
So my man said, "I don't want to play as them. I want to play as Batman." I ain't a Tim Drake fanboy.
They act like, look, they still may put him in there. It's a games as a service.
Better
so
be PlayStation exclusive.
No, only Suicide Squad I think is a game as a service.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
It may be DLC, and maybe Xbox will get the DLC.
Gotham Knight is like it's a single player. It's a full story that just has online.
I mean, with all the shit they could have done, man. I mean, right now they could have announced Green Lantern. Right now, like Green Lantern. Imagine Wonder Woman. Like right now. Oh my God.
Except I agree with you.
Except we get fucking Harley Quinn. Like what
Can we work up to those?
Like what? Why? No, that's not how it was. You go big first. And then, like, you introduce the side characters, you expand your universe. But you got to bring out your big guns first if you're going to create this universe. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, goddamn, like, you notice, look at Marvel. Marvel brought out Spider-Man as the first showing, right? And now they got the Avengers. Now they put in Miles Morales. They didn't start out with freaking, like, I can't even name a weak character in Marvel at this point. I'm so frustrated. I can't even think about a shitty group right now. like for real, that's how bad this shit. Like they didn't start out with like Iron Fist or some weird shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if the first big game in Marvel, instead of Spider-Man, Sony comes out, oh, we got Cloak and Dagger. We're gonna be like, what the? We're gonna be like, what the? We're gonna be like, out of all the players, like imagine, let's rewrite Sony E3 2016, and instead of Spider-Man coming out, we see Cloak and Dagger. We're like, really? Out of all the shit Marvel got, this is what you chose, Sony? Cloak and Dagger? Like, really? This is the big, like, come on, man. Like, you gotta come out with the big guns first. You gotta come out with the Spider-Man, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. You leave that side shit alone later on as you expand the universe. You don't come out big gunning with King Shark and Boom. Yo, I'm about to really play as Captain Boomerang. These dudes are tripping.
King Shark thing hurt your feelings.
These dudes are tripping. Like, think about it. Next gen, I'm gonna play a game with King Shark and Captain Boomerang. That shot's really the only legit character. And I'd rather and to be honest, I'd rather play as the other dude. What's his name? Deathstroke. I'd rather prefer a Deathstroke game than this shit.
You got Harley in there.
Harley Quinn. I'm gonna jump around, beat superheroes with a mallet.
Yeah, no.
That's the sexy.
I still don't know. Yeah, I don't know how she beats up anybody. She's only like 5 feet tall.
Well, she has guns. She has a mallet. She got
Yo, you don't even sound excited. You're like, man, this is the dumbest shit. Yo, this is the weirdest shit.
Man, the arrow was kind of let out for me when I found out it wasn't a Batman game. And again, it was my fault. I shouldn't have listened to all the rumors that have been hyped up for the last 3 or 4 E3s when people say, oh, Batman's coming. And it never fucking come. And when WB and those guys finally announced some teasers on some stuff, it's like, oh shit, we finally getting Batman next generation. Here we go. And then they show what they show, and it's like, okay, cool. But it's still like man, I don't know. Maybe because of the whole Spider-Man thing. Hey, we got Spider-Man, then we got Batman. Maybe my fault though. I mean, it is what it is.
Starsky Silvers, he says, finally caught the podcast live. Great podcast. Hey, welcome. Glad you were able to catch it. I don't know, man. Like, I just think, especially Rocksteady, like, let's talk about maybe there's a symptom. Is it possible that the reason why Rocksteady went this route is because they have to create a game as a service game, which is the one thing we fear the most? Is that a chance? They have to create a game as a service.
Yeah, AT&T is shopping them, but I thought that
no, they're not being sold.
Twitter,
they're not being sold.
Well, I saw on Twitter that Microsoft had bought them, so maybe not. Maybe Microsoft has bought them.
Stop.
Well, I mean, that's what people were saying.
Time Warner came out saying that the studios are not being sold. They're keeping them.
Yeah.
But is our biggest fear happening? Because when you think about it, the first next gen showcase from Rocksteady is actually a games as a service multiplayer and not a single player driven game. Which is what we've been telling people. Which is why we're so glad Sony is sticking to their guns and really pushing single player, and that we're really happy that Nintendo is sticking to their guns. Because when it comes to third party, any of them with a snap of a finger can instantly turn into a games as a service developer.
Yeah,
true.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like this is right. We ended this show on a sad note. Like, yo, this shit is trash.
A sad note.
Like, yo, my man Jay Barr is excited though. I'm
hella excited. I'm excited for Gotham Knights, man.
It's a new game coming next generation, and it's maybe. I mean, we'll wait to get some more information about it.
I'm in total agreement with the Suicide Squad. I've never been a fan of Suicide Squad like that. I would love to see a Flash game and a Green Lantern game and all that stuff. But Gotham Knights, I'm all in for that. Right. That's day one.
Yeah, hopefully the gameplay is great. I'll probably end up getting it because I'm such a goddamn stupid fanboy for Batman that I'll end up getting it just because it's fucking whatever. It's whatever, man. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? What else can you do, right? What else could you do? Anyway, anything else y'all guys want to talk about?
Now that we saw, I guess some of the game, did you guys see that? What did you think about the next gen graphics of it, or like, do you guys think that graphically did it kind of stand out, or did it look like something else?
For Gotham?
Yeah.
Well, I would say for Suicide Squad, that looks like a CGI trailer with no gameplay, so I'm gonna reserve any judgment on that. For Gotham Knights, it looked good. I mean, I was watching it 1080p, so it looked good.
Gotham Knight, you can definitely tell that is real early.
Yeah,
that's pre-alpha.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe that's just I was thinking of from a third party game point of view. It's like When are we going to see those next generation graphics?
It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while.
It's going to be a while.
It's gonna be a while.
Well, and that kind of sucks for Xbox, right? Because that shows, well, you know, you got to have first party to make your console shine and look next generation. Yes. And so far,
because remember, the tools are being built, with third party in mind, but the first parties are the ones that have access to it minute by minute. So they'll get all the latest updates instantly, while that third party does have to wait for the latest updates to their SDKs and stuff. Yeah. So, you know, and then at the same time, you know, a first-party developer focuses their one game for their one console. You know, Gotham Knight is being catered to at a minimum 3 platforms. Xbox, maybe even 4 if the Xbox Series S is true. So you got to look at it that way, too. So this one developer has to make the game run on Series S, Series X, PC, and PlayStation 5. So they don't have the time and allocation to truly focus on one platform and fully take advantage on that one platform. They have to spread the load and learn, you know, what these consoles can do across the board. You know? So obviously Sony's first-party developers are going to be ahead of the game because that's all they're working on. That's all they're doing. That's it. Nothing else. That's all they're going to focus on, and that's all their games are going to be released on, you know, the PlayStation 5. At least for the big blockbuster. I'm sure there's developers out there still making PS4 games, and then, you know, it'll be just cross-gen. You know, pretty much just PS5 upgrades and patches. That's about it. But these big blockbusters titles that the first party are doing, they're only focusing on one platform, PlayStation 5. That is it. And you're going to see how much of an advantage that does. You're going to see the greatness. You're going to see amazing games because of it. Yeah. You know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You know? But anyway, anything else?
That's it for me, man.
I think that's wrap it up, man. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. On your way out, please hit the like button. Truly appreciate you guys rocking out. I hope you enjoyed this next episode of 60 Frames No Lag. We'll be back next week again. Hopefully, Microsoft doesn't continue to do dumb stuff because it's getting tiring. It's getting old. It's getting old, man. You know? And hopefully, you know, Sony surprises us with a surprise show or an announcement or something, man. Because, like, September's next week, man. Yeah. And no price? Like, nothing. Yep. Like,
it's looking spooky, man.
They got us fiending out here, man. They got us out here like crack fiends. Like, what's going on, man?
Facts.
Like, this shit is crazy. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We out of here. 60 Frames No Lag. We got J-Dub. Check out his content. Check out Jay Barry and What's Up PlayStation. Right? You had another successful episode.
Yeah, we had a cool episode, man. My man Persona, Gamer Persona, man. Yeah. You know the time. Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be this week is gonna be good because we're gonna go into some Call of Duty.
Ooh.
On Thursday.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun.
And Craig, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Craig. Is he gone again?
Man, drinking.
My man drinking them shots. Oh, we just just want to say happy birthday, brother. When's your birthday stream?
I did it this morning.
Oh man, so check out his birthday stream. Wish the man happy birthday.